Hey everyone, Demo here with our heroic Dimensius kill from this morning. It took us 22 pulls to kill it, and we're about world, I think, 500-ish, 550. So this will just be a guide here going over our kill, walkthrough on any tips and tricks that I can give you guys to make sure that you kill it as quickly as possible within your guild. So we'll start from the beginning. Split the groups up into 1, 3, 5 for lefts, 2, 4, 6 for rights. And we ended up having 5 healers for a 24 man. So we had 3 healers on one side, and we had 2 healers on the right side. For this situation, I tried to put our 2 strongest healers on the right, just to make sure that that group stays topped and healthy. This first phase here is pretty intense, in the sense that there is a lot of damage that goes out. So we did assign like Rallying Cries, Vampiric Embrace, defensives, personals. Hellstone and Health Pot was usually just a free use. I did want to save them for the last phase, but if you felt like you needed to use it here, you definitely could. But that was kind of our game plan going into it. So I'll start right from the beginning here. And what we're going to do is that we're going to have the tank go towards the middle, and the active tank will always be towards the yellow marker in the middle. Once we got more comfortable, this being pull number 22, I told people to continue to focus, like cleave down the living masses versus hard targeting them. Early on in your pulls, just tell your group to hard target them so you don't wipe to it. Then after the last auto from the boss, we meet in the middle, and we are safe. And so now at this point, I'm telling the group 135 left, 246 right, and stand next to the tank smash. Don't be within sight, but this will push you the furthest or further away, so you don't have to waste extra time. You get more uptime, more damage. We do a taunt swap here. I'm going to pause right here. So these circles, there's 2 types of circles basically. The first ones, they spawn slowly, and this is the first set, so it's a slow spawn, so you can get extra living mass damage. So that's what I would tell the group right now. I'd say start hitting the living masses really early. You don't have to pre-spread yet. As you can see, the spread is still 4.3 seconds, and I paused it a little late, so they can get more time on it. Versus some groups might just say, as soon as you get done with a tank smash, go stand in the corner, go for your spread. Well, start hitting these living masses, start getting the damage done on them early. So then as soon as the spread comes up, then I say go to your spots. So you can look at my melee over here, they're in their spots, and they've already got this down to 50% before we've even put any circles down. So that's really good. This ability right here, that is shattering space, have a defensive for this every single time. I would call it pre-advance probably 2 seconds before the cast would start, or when it was basically when the cast started, because it's about a 3-second cast. And then I would say personal. Every single person personals at this point, because first of all, it's a big hit, and then you're going into a suck afterwards, so you'll have a personal up for the suck as well. So they got personals running right now. Excess mass people, they're all picking it up. I even picked up one here. Probably shouldn't have as a tank. I wouldn't suggest it, but we're all soaking and we're all pretty healthy, as you can see. So then the next part here is tank smash into the gravity first. Sorry, gravity first. We'll pull these people down. Pretty simple. One mistake that I even made myself is don't stand on top of them beforehand. That will save you a wipe or two. Just let these people be themselves first and then pull them down. I actually stood in there with one of them. It pulls you up as well. So that was a mistake on my end. So then you just easily suck them down. That's always a great call. As a raid leader, I love just calling to suck people down. But then I was like, all right, free damage, tank smash coming up. Stand next to it. So I have the group pre-plan, stand next to the tank smash, and then these are quick pools. So I'm telling people, boom, as you can see already, pre-spread. So I'm saying, don't worry about the living masses. Just get in your spots for the puddles. Good puddle placement is really important in phase 1. So we get these living masses rolling. I'm trying to look as well. And again, big shattering star there, and so we personal there as well. You got a mini, got a major, whatever you can press into soaks, into sucking down the team. After the suck of the team, it's a devour cast, so we come together. So they suck it down quickly, and then group up. We would like to do it on the marker, but if it's not on the marker, it's wherever the circle hides. So then we get here, and we're good to go. Our goal now, and I think most groups' goals, would be that you're going to skip the next Devour. So it's a tank smash here, and you're not going to deal with the Devour in 1 minute and 20 seconds. You do not deal with that. So it's a whole, like, basically push. So circles coming in, these are the slow ones again. Get some living mass damage early, and then pre-spread and place these well. Living masses are going to die. Make sure to pick them up quickly. Into big defensive, shattering space right now. Defensives, everybody. Defensives live. We just can't have anybody die. This fight, you really need everybody in at the very end. It has some tight checks, especially in week 1, like we are right now. So we suck these people down into a smash in 15 seconds. At this point, I'm saying that suck these people down and pretty much ignore everything else. We're going to get no more mechanics. So we might get the smash, but we're definitely not going to get the puddles. So again, healers doing damage, everyone pumping, everyone's alive, and we're just kind of getting ready just in case the smash goes off, but it doesn't even go off, so we finish it just beforehand. So, into the intermission. Big tip I have for you here. Tell your group to take the first one slow. This one's the worst. This is where you'll lose the most people is on this one. And I think we lose our Misweaver here, and I think we 4-heal pretty much the rest of the fight. So riding up right away, and just look to the right is what we told people. Just fly through them, right? This is pretty, I thought it was pretty straightforward for me. I was able to just go right through, and it kind of opened up for you. But, you know, every person's got to figure out how to do the dragon riding. There's orbs on here. We only end up getting 2 per phase. There's one that's really difficult per phase, and so we ended up getting the 10% boss damage, and they were able to live each time. I was doing the one, but I kept dying because it's a really tight timer, and I just didn't want to risk our progression anymore. This phase right here, we use cooldowns. All cooldowns right here on Ardo. No issues on that. And we're getting ready for the King's Cross. We have 3 DKs, as you can see, and we're going to grip. So these ads spawn here. It's going to be front right and back left, so they'll just grip them right on top. This guy does a frontal, and so I want to keep them close to our lefts and our rights. Again, you want this phase is really tough. This phase is tough. First of all, you want to make sure that your group's really prepared for this. So the biggest priority is not Ardo. Ardo is not your biggest priority. First of all, you have to deal with the lefts and the rights. Okay, so first of all, you want to kill this middle center ad first. Grips need to happen at the same time. Those that get cleaved down have a stun rotation on them. First of all, we had CBL or Vengeance Demon Hunter do it, and I was back up with leg sweep. That was usually enough, and they usually got cleaved down. So as you can see, they come in, we get gripped, and everybody's focusing the Void Warden. I'm tanking, so I'm going to pull the boss up for his frontal. He's going to do a frontal, and I'm going to place it right there. I could have done a little better, should have done a little better. I would have liked him just to be there, but again, we don't lose anybody for it. Looking at his hands, just like on normal, we get some group movement, everybody to the right. Now, Liquid does something where they move everybody up to the front and they just ignore this back warden. I didn't feel like we could confidently do that, and I think that we had enough damage, especially with Vantage Rune, and in the prior weeks, I think it's just better to do the mechanics. So we had all of our range, focus the Void Warden, and just do the mechanics. One mistake that we had is people would plant here. Ranger planting here, then he does the push, you get pushed back into Void Warden. What I'm calling the majority of the time is get in the line, get in the safe spot, get in the safe spot. That's what I'm reminding people. So I pull the boss over here, I'm getting ready for a frontal, I point the frontal that way, we get in the safe spot, get in the safe spot, get in the safe spot, and then just push against it. And this is another spot right here, we all use defensive right here. So defensives, and then we do it again. And now we have 3 DKs, we have the luxury of 3 DKs, so we grip again. So we grip them in, I'm going to pull it up for the frontal, and we're doing lefts and rights, which I'm calling deal with lefts and rights, which means kill this middle ad so that we can go left or right. We look at the boss, we know it's left. Group movement speed, wind rushes, anything. I don't think we have much right here. A little late, but we're okay. And then we kill it where we don't have to do the back ad. No problem. So we get ready for the next dragon riding. The next dragon riding is significantly easier. Significantly easier. It's just like normal, nothing crazy. Both of them are just like normal. There's no changes really, but pretty straightforward. On these intermissions, again, like I said, I would just not. We hold cooldowns here, and it just depends on your group. In the coming weeks, I don't think you're gonna have to hold cooldowns at all. You can still hold cooldowns. You're gonna meet the damage check, but we're down a healer, and we have all our DPS up, so we're fine. Right here, I'm telling the group we're going top left. Each time we're going top left, facing the boss. So some of our group on the first pull went over to here because they thought that was top left. Top left facing the boss. So we pull the boss over here into top left. This guy difference, he'll do an AoE circle instead of a frontal. So that's the only thing to think about. Everybody gets into the top left, and we're all facing the boss. And so then King's Cross will happen again, and we got grips. So grips come in, and King's Conqueror's Cross. I'm pulling it over to this corner. And I just kind of want to put the circle right here while trying to keep it so everything gets kind of cleaved down a little bit. I thought this was a better spot than what I saw with Liquid. Not that their strat was bad or I'm not agreeing with it. I just kind of thought that worked better for our group. Same thing. Back range, focusing the Void Warden back there. Focus the Void Warden, get it open. Get to the safe spot. That's what I'm reminding everybody right now. Get to the safe spot, get to the safe spot, get to the safe spot. As you can see, we're all here. We get pushed back. We use a defensive, and we're good. We know that we're not going to make the push. We're not pushing. We're not going to skip anything. And I actually stacked the Conquer or the Soak right on top of the other one, which I liked. I thought this was really good. This was the first pull that we did it. We've only made it here a couple times, so still just learning some things. I thought stacking it there was good. He's close. Our left and right is clear. We're looking at the boss. We call right. Good. Null binder grips. Again, we have the luxury of 3 DKs, which is nice. And we know we're going to make the push here. We don't have to kill the back one. I just keep calling kill boss, kill boss, kill boss, and we're good to go. But if you didn't, if you were a higher percentage, you would call kill that back ad, and you'd have enough time. So we know we're going in the last phase here. Everybody should have cooldowns. We've been saving cooldowns. We should be saving burst, and this is lost in second pots. Now this phase is very interesting. It's really like a dance with the tanks, and the raid leads can carry the whole fight. The tank really wants to stay to the left of the group, the active tank wants to stay to the left of the group at all times. And then you kind of just rotate around the room as needed. So we have some markers on one of our hunters and one of our other tank, and I have Skull. So the planet spawn, we drop an AMZ, and I just tell people at green, don't die to this planet. As you can see, some people are standing at the green marker right now, and nobody dies to it, thank God. So we're moving on, and the first thing that comes in is going to be a ring. So we find the ring, and the ring could be anywhere. Very nicely, it was next to us, right? So I just tell the group, here's the ring. And I make a big mistake here from raid lead perspective, make a huge mistake, okay? And it's really good to know that you can still kill it even with this. You're going to get hit by this first ring, and as a raid lead, I'm looking at the other rings. I had a really hard time since we'd only been in this phase 5 times. I hadn't really got a grasp on how to know when the next one is. As you can see, this one, I should have been telling the group, go to the right after this, but I told them go left. And so since I told them go left, because I thought this was the next one that was going to blow up, we get a double stack. So the mistake is I should have seen this one over here. This was the second one. Tell the group to go right, and I follow them to right, staying 15 yards away. If I'm 15 yards with the group, then I cleave everybody, okay? So we go left, and I notice that we're going to get hit by 2. And I call every personal, health pot, healthstone, everything. Just use everything. And we live. So that's great. Hide soon, no different than normal. Everybody just gets into a planet they're moving. So I just make sure they're moving, make sure you're in, make sure you're in, make sure you're in. Just like that. Great. So I've still got the boss. Now Supernova comes in. This one's coming up. So I don't know which way I call, but it's right on the group. So we could call left, and that means the whole group shifts left. So we look. I think everybody shifts left. It's a late one, and since it was honest, I don't think people really moved that early. We lose some people here. This would have been a great spot maybe for rallying cry or something, but we were pretty low coming out of it too. But as you can see, we're going to lose a couple people here. Lose 1, 2, 3, 4. But he's at 50% already. We've hardly done any mechanics, and he's at 50%. This is only going to get better throughout the weeks. Okay. So I move to the left because, again, I cannot be within the group, and that's the most important part. So this is the other biggest piece. Tank mechanic, and we just make sure that you don't get pulled through the boss and the group stays close to us, because that way we're not pulling anybody through the boss and we're not pulling anybody through any collapsed stars. Now, after this collapse happens, active tanks will swap. So I no longer will be the active tank, and my other tank will be the active tank. He is going to go right, and the whole group's going to go left. So you'll see here, I hope I do it anyways, I go left because I'm no longer tanking. Our whole group shifts left, and they're now on Skull, and CVL or off tank will go to the right as a blue square here. So let's see if I'm a liar. So tank comes in, I go left, CVL plants. He goes a little bit right. There you go. And we see the stars right there as well. And then we are in a good spot. So we would have called left anybody's, and everybody stack on Skull. Okay, now we're rolling. CVL wants to come back over to us, close to us. We see that this is the first one. And I'm looking, and I see that the second one is probably to the right. So I tell everybody, group right. Group is going to the right. Group is going to the right. We did have I'm going to pause right here because we did have a time where people were just going to the right and getting hit by the second one instantly. I said you need to follow the weak aura that tells you when to go through and you're safe. Okay, so if that means you have to back up a little bit, that's your personal call. That's not my call. I'm not playing the game for you. You have to do it when it tells you, right? So that's another like pain point for people would be that you need to make sure when that weak aura tells you that you're safe, basically, you're good to go through the second ring. So as you can see, 2.5, I look, and I'm going to be good. So we're getting right back next to our co-tank, just because if we have a suck at any point, just like right now, we have a suck, we're close. We're not in the circle, but we're close so that we don't get pulled through the boss. And again, this is going to be whole group goes left, new active tank, which is myself, goes right. So I roll and I almost jump into a star, I taunt, and we're good. Supernova there, planet blows up, whole group go left. No point in going right, whole group goes left, I'll meet back over with them on the other side. So I keep rolling this way, I'm going to meet back up with them. And we continue on. Rings. So pretty simple. Move to the right a little bit to go to the rings. As a tank, you don't really care. You can get hit by multiple rings. So I'm here. I'm telling the group to go to the right because that's where they get the second one. And then you got your left one. And I take a second hit here. Not that big of a deal. And that's just rinse and repeat of the whole mechanics. Again, active tank will go right. Whole group goes left. So blue marker should go to the right, and it does. And we go to the left. And then we look at that. Stars right there. It's easy. We just call left. And now we stay next to the tank. We're down to 18%. We're hiding. We have some planets here. As you can see, these are black stars. We can't be in these. So we get lucky with these two right here. Not necessarily lucky, but if these were 2 stars, we'd have to really group movement to somewhere soon. So I wasn't thinking of it. I think my timers were off too. So you know, it was just good that these worked out the way they did. So we hide soon. Again, I'm reminding people, move with the planet, move with the planet, move with the planet. When you get to this part in the fight, um, everything's pretty close and it's tight. These planets are tight, everything's close. So you're pretty much, it's just rinse and repeat. Move as a group, we go to the right, the tank's over on the backside, no issue. But as you can see, those planets are close. Somehow I grab aggro, so I move over to the other side. Oh, I think CVL died. That was why. So we get pulled, and we're solo tanking at this point. So we're just kind of still calling rights, lefts. Tanks are still staying here. It's falling apart, but we're at 5%. Can we hold it together? We find the first star. I know if we get through this mechanic, we most likely kill the boss. So I tell him here, I'm looking for the second one is to the left, so the group has to move to the left. So we're all moving left. Moving left. Cross when it's good for you. And I probably take 3 here. Nope, I'm good. And then it's going to be a tank mechanic that ends up killing me. I should have used Ritual of Mud looking at it, but when I rewatched the VOD, but that's okay. And we're at basically 30 mil, and we kill the boss. So that last phase really isn't too bad. You just have to get there. Like, your group has to get through that intermission. The intermission is the tough part of the fight for sure. And I think if it's going to get easier in week when you have more easier in the weeks as you have more damage. But as long as your tanks are placing those frontals in good spots, even I placed them in bad spots. I've shown you a video where we did not do things very well. And personally, me, I did not play very well in this fight. I could have done a lot better on this fight as a tank, and they have a lot of power. Your tanks really have to know what's going on, a lot like Nexus King. But yeah, I think as long as your Dragon Raiden is winning or doing well in the first part of the fight, you don't lose too many people. You will be able to kill this boss pretty quickly. Just because once you get to the last phase and you have that amp phase and more damage, lost second pots, all cooldowns, you're going to phase and he's going to already be at 70% before he does even any mechanics. Like when we were at 50%, you're going to be at like 35 or 40%. So it's going to be just like limit to the finish line. You'll be fine. So any comments, any questions, anything, just ask it in the comments. I'll try to do my best to respond. Yeah, and we're moving on to Plexus Sentinel. So if you like the content, you like the guides and whatnot, we'll be going into Mythic next week. And so super excited about that. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.